It's time now for a look at latest in local news. In the news, a celebration of life for 53-year-old Auntie Davis Phillips of Odom, Georgia, taking place today at Reinhardt and Sons Funeral Home Chapel with Reverend Matt Dennison officiating. The time is 5 p.m. Family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service at the funeral home. Auntie Phillips passed away on Saturday, May 6th. She was a 1987 graduate of Wayne County High School. A star player on the Lady Yellow Jacket softball team. It was a pleasure to watch her play. She was definitely a star. After high school, she was hired at Brunswick Pulp and Paper, worked her way up to the administrative assistant in the changing names from Georgia Pacific to Plum Creek Timber, and then presently Weyerhaeuser. Survivors are her husband of 34 years, Mike Phillips of Odom, Georgia, a son, Bradley Mallory Phillips, a grandson, Brady, and a granddaughter on the way. Survived by her parents, David and Linda Davis of Odom, a brother, Adam, Heidi Davis, a nephew, Alex Mary Davis, a niece, Daisy Davis, a brother and sister-in-law, Wesley and Becky Phillips, and their son, Peyton Kara Phillips, a great-nephew, Landon. Again, the funeral set for today at 5 p.m. In lieu of flowers, memorials can be made to the Pine Forest Men's Golf Association Fund, P.O. Box 70, Jessup, GA 31598. Reinhardt & Sons Funeral Home in charge of all the arrangements. Again, that celebration of Auntie Phillips' life taking place today at 5 p.m. at Reinhardt & Sons Funeral Home. Wayne County Board of Education has a work session set for today at 6 p.m. at the Tech Center, and on the agenda once again is middle school athletics as Athletic Director Justin McDonald, Assistant AD and Head Football Coach Jay Bo Shaw, and the two middle school ADs, Jamie Knight and Sheila Brockington, have presented the school board with a proposal to combine the two middle school athletic programs. They've outlined several reasons. The number one reason, they believe it's in the best interest of all the athletic kids in the program, in the best interest of every child athlete at the middle school. The other three reasons presented: one, they don't feel it's fair for sixth grader students to compete with eighth grade students. Two, the middle schools don't have the numbers to compete against other schools in the conference. And three, they want to do away with the yearly rivalry between Martha Puckett and North Williams Middle School athletes. Those are just three reasons stated in the proposal. There are a lot more. A full page of proposals with other reasons given, as AD Justin McDonald appeared on the Butch and Bob Show weeks ago and outlined the proposal that's being presented to the Board of Education. Up to this point, the board has only had discussions at their meetings. No action has been taken. School board member Sharon Daniel has already stated that she will vote against the merger, despite not having at least one conversation with the athletic director, Justin McDonald, about the proposal. Once again, WIFO-FM verified that again yesterday with the AD, Justin McDonald. McDonald says other board members have reached out for additional information about the proposal since the last meeting when the issue was not voted on. Whether or not a vote takes place today, time will tell, but it's back on the agenda for today. Other items on the agenda: capital outlay projects, the school calendar, summer opportunities, athletic handbook. Under financial management, budget discussions for fiscal year 24, and executive session discuss personnel. All that today at 6 p.m. Have a full report for you tomorrow here on the local news. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, Monday's Butch and Bob Show with County Commission Chairman Kevin McCrary has broken the all-time record of views. At last report, close to 1,300 and counting, which breaks the record years ago. With an interview we did with longtime Commissioner Jerry Shagride, who talked about his surgery and also warned listeners not to listen to anything Commissioners Tim Caulfield and Ray House had to say. Shag's famous line, "Bob, if they were out in the swamp up there neck in the water and told you their butts were wet, don't believe them, don't believe them." Still a classic, and again, that show stood for a long time. In second place was our interview years ago with District Attorney Jackie Johnson. Again, those records held until yesterday with Chairman Kevin McCrary. I said at the beginning of the interview yesterday, and I'll repeat again, I like Kevin. He's been a guest several times over the past several years, campaigning for commissioner, winning office, and serving as a commissioner. But yesterday, I'm disappointed as I gave him a layup to just rescind the written reprimand that 20-year veteran with the EMS Department, Richard Johnson, received for appearing on our show as an invited guest, his first reprimand in his career. Well, instead of taking the layup, Kevin dug in deeper and insisted WIFO-FM is the social media, which again, I and my boss, Butch Hubbard, strongly disagree. And truthfully, anyone out there listening to the live radio show knows this is not social media. And coming back from Lubbock yesterday during the long drive, it occurred to me that the county commissioners, when they meet, live stream their meetings on Facebook Live, which is social media. So the question is, are they violating their own social media policy, talking about county business without any delay or filter on social media? That's an interesting question. Everyone knows who's reprimanded now, everyone who attends and speaks at the meetings. The interview's on the website. Anyone can go listen to it, and a lot of people have. I won't bore you with much more, but there are 2 points I want to bring out today here on the local news. Kevin was adamant that the agenda didn't say the word removing the rapid response position, but I received the agenda before every meeting, and we read the agenda here on our local newscast. I have the agendas, and it says exactly what I said it says. It reads, consider and improve removing the rapid response position from EMS. That's a fact, and Kevin is simply wrong. Last point, and this is the most disturbing to me, is during the show, Kevin stated that WIFO-FM does a great job with birthday, colleges, community events. When it comes to local news, WIFO and the Press Sentinel only give half the truth, and that is what is hurting economic development in Wayne County. Well, I'll let Drew Davis and the Press Sentinel speak for themselves, but I'll speak for myself when I tell you that that was just a low blow and untrue. If that's the case, I need to be fired immediately because I take pride in my job, do everything I can to provide an accurate and truthful newscast each and every day. I have been doing that in Tennessee for over 40 years. I have a degree in journalism from UGA, and here's everyone's Journalism 101 class for today. When it comes to news, you want the 5 W's in the story. The 5 W's are who, what, when, where, and why. Again, class dismissed. I promise everyone who listens to my newscast or sportscast that I attend just about every meeting and every community event. I cover ball games. Sometimes I can't be 3 places at once. But I do take pride in my work, and I'll stand behind my 40 years of broadcasting local news here on WIFO-FM. Again, if I'm reporting half-truths, just fire me today. That was a cheap shot, and one I really take personally. Do I make mistakes? Of course I do. No one is perfect, but I promise I know if I make a mistake, I do my best to correct the mistake and move on. Once again, I appreciate Kevin McCurry coming on the show, but from the comments I've received and read, I don't think he helped his position at all. And as they say in the world of public opinion, the world-famous Butch and Bob show won unanimously. Again, we've had congressmen, governors, state legislators, the list goes on, and I'm confident the show won. The ratings were great, and congrats to Kevin McCurry on breaking Shag Wright's historic record, which stood for many years. Again, I'll repeat again, and I promise this is a fact. The world-famous Butch and Bob show is not social media. The local news and sports is not social media. You can take that to the bank. We're a locally produced news and sports show, a locally produced Butch and Bob show, 5 days a week here on WIFO-FM, and God willing, I'll just continue to do what I'm doing until I can't no longer, or Butch fires me for only giving half-truths. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes in the news: Wayne County Historical Society meets Thursday, May 9th at Captain Joe's Seafood Restaurant. Guest speaker will be Dean Neesmith, who will be talking about his book, The Last Man You Lay Dying, which is about his dad, Big Dink, also related to growing up in a funeral home in Jessup in the 60s. This program begins Thursday at 7 p.m. It's preceded by a Dutch Street meal at 6. Membership's encouraged and guests are welcome. And finally, the news: don't forget the Wayne County Catfish Tournament set for June 3rd and 4th. Again, the tournament begins that Saturday, June 3rd at 12 noon, continues until Sunday, June 4th at 12 noon with the weigh-in. This year's event offers anglers the opportunity to win $7,500 first place payout, with other place payouts determined by the number of entries into the event. Weigh-in and tournament headquarters will once again be at the JC Fairgrounds at JC Landing. Those fishing the event can put in anywhere on the Altamar River, but they must be in line at weigh-in at the fairgrounds by 12 noon that Sunday, June the 4th. Tournament officials ask interest to please note you must come to the fairgrounds to receive your T-shirt. Entry fee for the event is $100 per fisherman, with a minimum of at least 2 fishing in a boat. Big fish pot entry is $10 per fisherman. Registration can be done online at www.acta.com or can be dropped off at the Tourism Board's office in the depot. Registration packets are available online or at the Jessup Train Depot. If you need more information, call the Tourism Board office at 912-427-3233 or check out the event website at waynetourism.com. You can also register on site that Saturday morning. And they state the fish are out. They're waiting for the boats June 3rd and 4th in the annual Wayne County Catfish Tournament on the muddy Altamar River. That's going to do it for the latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan's. Have a great day.